Hi, I'm Holliday, and this is Chloroform and Chillz, and it's my birthday special. Yes, I am now 30, and for my 30th birthday, I decided to bring my best friend from Chicago, Slater, here to hear a true crime with me. Everybody, welcome Slater.
Hi.
I'm
Doesn't
looking
like
for
this
the, oh, here
true
we go.
crime.
The applause.
Yeah. Shy time.
So Slater is here. Slater is also into true crime just as much as me, and I just wanted to share a crime with her that I've been working on. So I think we're ready to dive in. Are you ready? It's kind of crazy.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we are gonna. I can't pronounce things with my mouth, so don't be surprised if I can't pronounce anything right. So we are going to talk about the Cheshire Murders in Connecticut. I'm gonna be honest with you. It is graphic. There is sexual abuse. There's sexual assault, and there is rape. So just let you know. So here we go. This case is located in Cheshire, Connecticut. It's a small town nicknamed the Bedding Town for bedding flowers. Sounds small and homey already.
It does.
Cheshire is also known as a family farming town, but nobody knew something heinous was about to rock the community, which was a home invasion. Here we go. I just want to put it out there for everybody that doesn't know, like when it comes to true crime, if you are willing to invade somebody's home, you are willing to do some diabolical things.
I think that's the worst.
You're just a random person. Like, you're willing to die. Due to this crime, overnight, the community of Cheshire started locking their doors and installing alarms. How I feel is that I think you should always be locking your doors and installing alarms. It's always something that has to happen. Like, do you know the serial killer Richard Ramirez in Cali?
No.
Okay, so he's like a serial killer that randomly killed people at like random. Like
just random people's
no
house, random people's houses?
Yes, random. No victim profile, no nothing. He just was running in people's shit and killing them and raping them if he wanted to. Yeah. So in Los Angeles, Richard Ramirez, he was just invading anybody's home that door was unlocked. If your door was unlocked, he was coming in your home. As long as your doors were locked, he wasn't coming in because it was too much of an effort.
To like open the window or break in. So
yes.
He's lazy about it. But random still.
Yes, I'll say it again. Due to the crime overnight, the community of Cheshire started locking their doors and installing alarms. They even referenced this crime as their 9/11.
Wow.
Yeah, a small summary. On Monday, around 3 a.m.-ish, two men snuck into a suburban family home. This family is made of a mother, father, and two daughters. The father has fallen asleep downstairs. The father is immediately attacked with a baseball bat. The two intruders then tie the father up and work their way upstairs, tying up the mother and the daughters to their bed. The intruders demand they give over any money and valuables. There wasn't much in the house, so they decided to take the mother to the bank. Obtaining $15K, they went back to the home, and then they set the house on fire.
Damn.
And that's just a short summary. Can you believe that? Like, that's just what I like put as
Wait a second. How can you pull out $1,500?
$15K. 15,000. They went to the bank, not an ATM.
That's still crazy. Though.
That is
crazy.
kind of
a lot for you to pull out. Are you okay?
I know, right? Listen, we'll get to that. Like, you'll see. You'll be like, oh my god. This family is the Pettit family. The mother, Jennifer Pettit, she was a nurse, wonderful sister, a leader, wonderful mother, had a disease of MS, which is multiple sclerosis. I'm not going to lie, I didn't really look up what that is, but I'm assuming it has to do with your muscles. So,
and it kills you pretty quick.
Yeah, so the father, William Pettit, who also goes by Bill, so I'll be referring to him as Bill. He was a committed father and a dedicated doctor. Bill and Jen met in Children's Hospital, and they got married and had a daughter. Their first daughter was Haley Pettit. She was a straight-A student, very quiet, and an athlete, always trying to help. She even created a fundraiser to help her mother with MS. She was able to raise $15K for an MS community in Cheshire. I'm like, damn, girl, you went hard.
15,000 from them?
50K for like mom and somebody else? Yeah, why not? They also had a second daughter. Her name was Michaela Pettit. She went by Michelle, but I mostly put her as Michaela in this case. She was shy, very helpful. Family was very centered around social life and justice. Now that we know a little bit about the family, why don't we talk about our intruders? These two motherfuckers. So the intruders are Stephen Hayes and Joshua. It's a Russian name, so bear with me.
Okay.
Komajeski. I don't know. Komajeski. That's how you say it, I guess. Stephen Hayes. Not a lot about Stephen Hayes' early childhood, but we do know that he was a menace to his younger brothers and he was very manipulative. Stephen one time was trying to smoke weed with his friends using the stove at home. Stephen's brother walked in and Stephen decided to burn his brother's hand on the stove.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Stephen, fortunately, when he was younger, was sexually abused as a child, described as a master manipulator, like I said, and a deceptive person. A long history of crime, most in burglaries of cars. Didn't have a history of violence against, against black people. Jesus Christ. I know.
Yeah, Cheshire, that's probably a white place.
You know what? I didn't even send you a picture of what these people look like. So let me send you a picture. So this is the Pettit family. I just sent it to your Facebook. And then these are the people that did some things. Stephen is the bald one and Joshua is the one with hair.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you can know who we're talking about. Stephen, baldy. Didn't have a history of violence against people. Oddly enough, had a daughter who was a police officer. Can you believe that?
Talking about murder and rape? What the?
We'll see. People cannot understand how his crimes escalated to murder. Brothers recall that Stephen was the worst when he was little. Again, he was a master manipulator, he was mean, and he was torturous. When his brothers learned of his crime, his brothers were 100% with the death penalty for Stephen, especially if he didn't do these crimes under being insane or under drugs. They said
I have a question.
Okay.
What year did this happen?
2007.
Okay.
Yeah, 2007 in a documentary. There's a documentary about this and it came out in 2013. Okay. So, quote from brother, I hope someone puts a bullet in his head. Extreme. Well. I mean, not really, but like, I mean,
if he's murdering.
I definitely get it. And then we're going to talk about Joshua Komosajeski. I said it right.
That was good. That was good.
He was an amazing artist. He wanted to become an architect. Unfortunately, Josh, at a young age, was sexually abused by his foster father. Josh was then adopted into the Komosajeski family. Josh went from special education classes to being homeschooled. So he's in special ed. Yeah, I think he's just autistic because he has a photographic memory. But I don't know why didn't they just say he was that. But maybe they just, I will say maybe in like 2013 they just didn't know what it was. So maybe that's what that was. He's a master manipulator as well. Is attracted to young girls in bondage.
Well,
remember,
second thing is nice.
I mean, oh my God. Remember like I said, the second thing is nice.
You don't like bondage? What
the first thing was into young girls, not when it's attached to young girls.
I didn't even want to fucking acknowledge that, okay?
Okay. So remember this for later.
Okay.
He does have a history of drug use. He was trying to keep clean, but he couldn't. Long history of crime, also only in burglaries, not in violent crime. But Josh used to do home invasions. He would invade somebody's house and listen to them sleep.
That's creepy.
He would listen to them breathe.
Like nothing and just listening and
just listening to them breathe.
I don't know.
Sent him somewhere. I don't know how people can not understand how this escalated to murder. If you're breaking in somebody's house and you're listening to them breathe, I think it can escalate to something else.
Well, the justice system is probably failed that family, to be honest.
Definitely. But this is a completely different family without Stephen Hayes, that he was breaking into other people's house and listening to them sleep. That's crazy. At one point, though, Josh did go to prison in 2002, and he was sentenced to 9 years. But Josh was paroled April of 2007. The Cheshire Murders happened in 2007, later that year, in July, I believe.
So he went to jail in 2007?
He went to jail in 2002. Okay. He was supposed to be in there for 9 years. He was only in there for 5, and he was paroled in 2007 when the Cheshire Murders happened.
That's the problem. They're like, they're good in prison. Of course they're good. They can't do nothing.
Right. In 2007, like I said, Josh invaded the Pettit home with Stephen Hayes. Before this horrible crime occurred, Stephen Hayes tried to kill himself with crack and heroin.
Ooh, an overdose.
Yes. He was unsuccessful and decided to attend an AA meeting, and that's where he bumped into Joshua Komoshajeski.
There's probably murderers in my AA?
Probably. Well, they weren't murderers yet. Because when they bumped into each other, that's when they decided to craft a plan to invade a home. They just didn't know whose home yet. Yeah, because they wanted quick money. So now we're going to get into very dark, graphic details. Are you ready?
The best part.
Okay. The best. Jesus. On Sunday night, unknowingly, Jen and her daughter were being followed in the supermarket by Joshua.
Which is the one that was listening to people sleep, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
On July 23rd of 2007, around 3 a.m., Josh and Stephen broke into the Pettit family's home. They first broke into the home where Bill was sleeping downstairs. Bill was sleeping on the couch. Immediately once they ran into Bill on the couch, they started to beat him with a baseball bat severely, to the point that his head cracked open.
Jesus Christ. That's worse.
Bill was beaten so badly that he curled up into a ball on the couch. They then proceeded to tie Bill up in the basement to a pole.
That's when that bondage came in?
No.
Oh,
that's a little later. Yeah, no. That's a little later. Assuming at this point when they tied him up, they're assuming that Bill is unconscious. Okay. Josh and Stephen then proceed to walk upstairs because if you see the pictures I sent you of the family, Bill is a big guy. He's not something that you can just like one man can carry him. They had to do two. So they both went into the basement. Yeah. He is. He's really tall. So Josh and Stephen then proceeded to walk upstairs. Stephen went into Jen and Bill's bedroom, and he put his hand around her mouth and shook her awake gently.
That's weird. Gently?
Gently.
That's weird.
This is allegedly what happened due to the account from Josh and a little bit of Stephen Hayes. Josh then did the same with the daughters, tying them both up. Then he put a pillowcase over Jen and Haley's head so they wouldn't see their faces.
Okay.
Josh then goes into Michaela's room to talk about school and summer plans. Why are you going in Michaela's room to talk about any type of plans?
Why would she be like, oh, by the way, I have... I don't even know who you are.
If you can't notice, Josh likes Michaela. Michaela is 11 years old.
He's a creep.
That's why I said, I don't know about that children in bondage. That's why I was like, Josh, even during interrogations, does not call Michaela by her name. He calls her by the family nickname that he got from Michaela's mother, Jen, and Haley, which is KK. And I think that's very weird because you don't know her like that to be using her nickname.
Right.
Okay? Right. That's very weird because you're trying to make it seem like you guys know each other and you don't know her.
Right.
You're weird.
Well, he's already weird.
It's just like a very personal thing. It's like, bro, you came in here, you broke into my house. You're here to cause
you gently woke me up.
Yeah, gently walk me up. My dad
want to talk about my summer plans.
Yeah. And I'm 11 years old. Well, why would I want to talk to you about summer plans? You just met me. I don't know you. But technically, Josh did not just meet them. Because remember, he followed them home from the grocery store.
So he felt like he was a part of the family.
Yes. Like, out of nowhere. And I think that's weird. And people say this robbery was motivated by money. I don't think so. I think it was motivated by him wanting to talk to Michaela.
Like, I've been seeing her around and like...
But he hasn't really even been seeing her around. I think he saw her in the grocery store and was like, yeah, that's it. That's the girl.
Shit.
Yeah. Stephen and Josh get very comfortable in the Pettit home. They find beer and start drinking. Then they start searching for some money.
I'd be mad.
Why are you drinking my shit?
Right. I was saving that for later.
Like, what are you doing, bro? All right. They end up finding some loose money around the house and credit cards. They even come across a bank book and decide to wait until the morning to go to the bank. They were going to take Jen to the bank for $15,000 to take out of her account. Because remember, I said the mother's a nurse, the father is a doctor. So they got the money. I'm not going to lie. If you look up the house is pretty big. The money, it looks like it's long.
I mean, they look like a well-off family.
Well-off family. I'm not going to lie. Steven was picked to go to the bank with Jen.
Probably didn't trust Josh. Fucking nuts.
But while they were waiting for morning to come, Steven starts to obsess about evidence and DNA.
You didn't worry about that when you were drinking my beer? What?
You didn't worry about that when you snuck into my house? So to calm Steven down, Josh tells Steven fire destroys everything.
Okay.
So calm down. At 7:05, Steven then drives around looking for a gas station with gas cans.
Don't light that motherfucker on fire.
Man, the first plan was to get the family out of the house and then set the house on fire.
Really?
But yes. But as we go forward, this is not what happened.
Yeah, but I'm shocked. He's worried about DNA. Wants them to be witnesses? That makes sense. Okay.
Because where are they going to go? That don't make no sense. You tell me you're going to steal $15K from me and then you're going to release me?
You know I'm going to cops, right?
Thank you. Once Steven is back with the gas cans, he noticed that something is off. Michaela's clothing has changed. Mm-hmm. Josh sexually assaulted Michaela, but he denies it till this day, even though on Josh's cell phone, there are sexually explicit photos of Michaela.
So stop lying.
Why are you lying about that?
Yeah, right.
And
why would you change your clothes?
I think he's lying about that because, like, when you go to jail as a man that touched kids, they kind of like, they don't really like that, right? Like, that's the thing. They don't really like men that touch kids. And she's 11, remember?
He's probably going to get a longer sentence.
Yeah.
And then the people in jail. Right.
Because the oldest sister I think she's only 16. Like, I mean, it's just so weird. Like, he decided to go for, like, the youngest sister. Not saying that he should go for the oldest, but it was just like,
right.
Huh.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, like, that's so odd that you would do that. It shows that you're definitely into young girls. Once Steven is back and he notices something wrong, he's like, okay, this is kind of weird. But 8:30 starts to roll around. Jen Pettit, who is the mother of the family, she's untied and she's taken to the bank with Steven. Bill heard his wife pleading with the intruders for her to grab her purse because she felt like if she went to the bank with no identification, no cards, they would think that something was up.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
So she was smart on that part because she's trying to still at the end of the day save her family. Once arriving to the bank, Jen walks inside and walks straight to a teller. Jen informed the bank teller that someone was holding her family hostage and she needed help. Bank teller did call the police while this transaction was happening. Once receiving the money, Jen walked out of the bank. She didn't wait for the police. She didn't wait for the teller to say the police is on the way. She just walked out. And this was because she was in fear that Steven and Josh would hurt her family, because in the car, Steven was actually getting very nervous because it was taking Jen a long time to get $15,000 out. I'm sorry, you just can't get it out randomly.
Yeah. Who's gonna be like, here you go.
Right, yeah, we just got that lying around in the bank. No, we got to count some money, right? He was very nervous at this happening and he was freaking out and called Josh and said, listen, it's taking her a long time to get this money. We got to figure something out. And Josh told him, like, hey, just relax. It takes some time to get money out the bank. It'll be good. And it's so crazy because Jen felt the same way. And that's why she just left right out when she got the $15K.
But are they in communication with each other? Like Josh and Steven.
Josh and Steven, yeah, via cell phone.
Okay. Because I was about to say she could have saved her family then.
Yeah, so she didn't want to stay because it was taking a really long time and she didn't want to wait for the police. But the police were contacted and given her address by the bank teller.
Okay.
Remember that for later too, because it gets kind of rough. Arriving home, things turn diabolical. Steven figured they just successfully gained $15K and now can leave. But Josh tells Steven there is an issue, a DNA issue. Josh admits to Steven he assaulted Michaela and he had to kill her.
Yeah, extra DNA.
So that means they not sexually assaulted her once. This is now the second time. And during that assault, he decided to kill her. And he also decided to kill the oldest sister, Haley, and the father in the basement. All while Steven was at the bank with Jen.
She didn't even know.
She didn't even know.
Damn. So him himself thought I gotta kill her and everybody else because there's DNA.
Yeah, because he basically, like, let's say what it is, he raped Michaela.
Right.
Yeah. Josh then informed Steven he has to kill Jen. Josh is like, listen, my hands are dirty. You now need to kill
Like, you
Jen.
gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, you gotta wrap it up, kill her. During this conversation, police are arriving outside the Pettit's house.
Okay.
Steven notices there are police arriving and realizes that Jen told the teller what the fuck was up.
So he's about to tell Steven.
Yeah, like they see the police outside, so this is about to get really graphic. Steven was so pissed off that Jen snitched to the bank teller. He decided to strangle Jen, and then after strangling her, he pulled her pants down and raped her dead body.
Oh my fucking God.
Yes. I was like,
child molester, and then...
No, that was Steven. Steven isn't even a child molester. It was Josh. Steven, yeah, the guy that went to the bank with her decided to strangle her and then rape her.
Why are they so worried about DNA? Putting DNA everywhere.
I don't know. I personally believe that Steven raped Jen because I think he knew the jig was up. I think he knew they were going to jail, and he knew that this is the last woman I'm gonna touch.
So his last raw.
Yeah, I might as well. And it was just like, that's so weird for you to do.
Well,
why did you do that? Like, what did you do that for?
Well, he said, I'm going away for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and at this time when this is happening, Josh hears a noise in the basement.
Right, the dad.
He goes down there and checks the basement, and come to find out the dad isn't dead. The dad was able to untie himself, escape out of the basement through a cellar door.
Wow. With a cracked skull?
Yes, with a cracked skull.
Shit.
Legs and hands are tied. He had to like hop out of there. Damn. Out of steps. But during this time, Bill, I will say, like, his account of hopping out of the like cellar basement, he didn't smell smoke. He didn't see that his house was on fire. But when Josh informed Steven of Bill escaping, they started dousing the house in gasoline.
Okay.
Damn. Jen, Haley, and Michaela are presumed to be dead. Later, we find out that Haley and Michaela were still alive and burned alive.
No. Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yes. Once they lit the gasoline, the house was engulfed in flames. Steven and Josh started running for the front door, taking the family's car, crashing it into a police officer's car.
What the fuck?
After crashing into the police car, they were both arrested and they both were charged with multiple felonies. Are you ready for the trial? It was a little crazy. I know that was a little crazy. We just ran through that. How do you feel?
I'm wondering what was the dad gonna do? Like
nothing.
Just didn't even check up on nobody. You just said, fuck it, I'm leaving.
I guess so. And you know what? When I was watching this documentary, I was like, is the dad in on this?
Oh, that would be crazy.
I thought, was he in on it? But come to find out he wasn't. This was really a random crime, like a random act, like an act of violence. I was shocked. So at the trial, Josh and Steven decide to have separate trials. It's better to have separate trials if you do a heinous crime because then you can blame certain things on one another.
The other,
if that makes sense, right? Yeah. Josh was trying to make it seem as though Steven did everything heinous except sexually assaulting Michaela. So Josh said he raped the mom, he killed Haley, but I raped Michaela.
Why would he even
admit to that after he just said
why would he just say that Steven did that?
I don't know. But I think it's because he couldn't prove it. During the trial, their bodies were burned and they were able to get their bodies and do autopsies. Once they took Michaela's body and did an autopsy, they found Josh's DNA in between her underwear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he couldn't say that he didn't do it.
So they didn't even do it. They couldn't do a rape kit, but they just found it.
Yeah.
They weren't even burned. Their clothes were burned?
Their clothes were burned. But, like, the fire wasn't... I guess it didn't incinerate the bodies. Like, because the police were there and the firefighters were there. Like, that was it.
So they were put it out. That's crazy.
Right.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know. People had over 1,000 questions about why the Pettit family wasn't safe. Because, remember, the police were outside for a while.
So why did they do anything? That's what they're saying.
Exactly. Due to so many questions from the public and the families of the Pettit family, the remaining Pettit family, such as the dad, Jen's mother and father, the court decided to put a gag order on all police, all witnesses, and anybody that was involved in the crime from speaking to the media. They didn't want it to get out there. So they put a gag order on everybody.
So you mad because your police officers and firefighters didn't do anything?
Pretty much. Because it was just so many questions, and I guess they didn't want to, like, disrupt the proceedings of the trial, because it was just, like, really starting out. And they needed, like, a jury, and they said it's hard to get a jury because this case was so big.
Okay.
Yeah. There is controversy around the Pettit family. The family and the media believes lives could have been saved. It was reported that the police were outside on standby when the house went up in flames. It is reported that police were outside the house for 30 minutes.
Doing fucking what?
Before the house went up in flames, they were outside for 30 minutes.
That kind of pisses me off.
On standby. People want to know, why didn't the police interfere sooner? Especially if Bill Pettit hopped outside from the cellar doors and saw the police in the bushes near his house.
He didn't come out the bushes? Is that why you thought he was?
Yeah, I was just like, that's funny. How did you survive and nobody else?
Right. Okay.
But come to find out that it was really a random act of violence. Police said that they were just following protocol.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if you watch a documentary, where I got a lot of my information from, the sister, Jen's sister, says that that's not a good enough answer. Because that doesn't make sense.
It's not. You were there for 30 fucking minutes. And
30
you
minutes
stood there.
Because, like, Stephen Hayes and Josh, they didn't have any guns. Everything was, like, physical.
Yeah,
all strangulation, everything was physical. So it was just like,
so it's not like the cops got told that some dude had a gun and now we have to
I guess
do
they
this.
were like, I get that they were being cautious, but how cautious can you get if a whole family is being held hostage? The father just hopped out of the cellar. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Cops need to go to jail too.
Ain't none of my business. Josh and Stephen were found guilty, obviously, on multiple charges. Next, they face a penalty phase where they fight for their own lives. Stephen Hayes' brothers want him to be sentenced to death. But Stephen's daughter, remember she's a police officer, she wants him to have life in prison. I think he should be sentenced to death.
Yeah, that's fucked up for her to say that, especially being a cop.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's your dad, but
I get. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's your dad. I get it. But Josh's family didn't even make a comment at his sentencing. I believe this is due to they feel as though Josh ruined the family name because the family is very famous in Russia in plays or whatever, like musicals and plays.
So they just wanted to disown him altogether.
Pretty much.
Okay.
The government, which is the prosecutors of Connecticut, wants to sentence Josh and Stephen to death.
Okay, that's fair.
Stephen was convicted of 16 charges. These charges are, capital felonies: killing 2 or more people, killing a person under 16, murdering in the course of a sexual assault, 3 counts of intentional causing death during a kidnapping, murder, 3 counts, first-degree kidnapping, 4 counts for each family member, first-degree sexual assault, use of threat or force against Jen Pettit, second-degree assault of Dr. William Pettit, who was Bill, third-degree burglary of the Pettit house.
Okay.
That's all 16.
That sounds like a death sentence to me.
That sounds like a death sentence to me. Josh Komosojewski was convicted of 17 charges. They don't list all of them, but I do have some of them. Some of these charges are intentional cause of death of 2 or more people, intentional cause of death of a person under the age of 16, intentional cause of death of Jen Pettit in the course of kidnapping, intentional cause of death of Haley Pettit in the course of kidnapping, intentional cause of death of Michaela in the course of kidnapping, intentional cause of death of Michaela in the course of first-degree sexual assault.
I'm surprised even his other offenses that he had prior to this burglary
didn't land him in jail, right?
Not just land him in jail, but was he competent to stand trial?
They were competent to stand trial. Both of them. They know what they were doing. Because they were texting about it before they decided to do a home invasion. They knew what they were doing. They know right from wrong.
So it's premeditated.
Yeah. I will say I truly believe this is something I'm going to stand on really hard. I'm going to look into the camera when I say this. I believe in the death penalty, especially when it's of a heinous crime. I'm not talking about anything that's of gray water. I'm talking about when you did something that you know you weren't supposed to do and somebody died in a very hideous way.
Yeah, I definitely believe in the death penalty.
Especially if you cause bodily harm. Not if it's an accident, you got into the accident because you were drunk or because it's like, oh, my gun went off by mistake. No.
So an accidental rape.
I mean, like, if you like literally was like, I'm going to break in this house and I'm going to kill everybody.
I think that he shouldn't got the death penalty just for raping a little girl.
You know, and that's where some people draw the line. They believe they should just go to jail for life.
Child.
Think about that. Some people think he should just go to jail for life for that one charge. Because remember, they set the house on fire and the daughters were still alive. In the documentary, they say that they poured gasoline on the daughters while they were alive.
No regard for human life at all.
None. We know they're alive because they get up and try to walk out of their rooms because they're set on fire. It's so crazy how like it happened. It was really weird. But to give you what you want, Josh and Steven were both sentenced to death.
Hell yeah.
During the trial, Steven did attempt suicide, but he survived.
That makes sense. I can see that.
In 2010, the death sentences were overturned and they were given life without parole by the governor of Connecticut. A new governor.
Kidding me?
Yeah, because during this time, they were having a lot of debates in Congress about if the death penalty is constitutional or is it unusual punishment. Cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, but if you got that the death penalty sentence prior to that,
yeah,
that shouldn't fucking matter.
They decided to give them new sentences of just life with no parole.
That pisses me off.
Good news though, before we end this, Bill Pettit, the father, is an advocate for the death penalty.
Okay.
And since the tragedy, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was gonna say since he didn't go check on his wife and kids. You better do some shit.
I'm not going to go there. I mean, but I will. I guess what was he really going to do though? He was tied up hands and feet. In the documentary, he does say he has regrets
for not
checking more. Yeah.
Okay.
So he does say he has regrets. Since the tragedy, Bill has been a spokesperson for an organization he found in honor of his daughter and wife. The organization is for people with MS and families that have survived terrible crimes.
Okay.
Since the death of Jen, Haley, and Michaela, the house was torn down. They created a garden in the memory of the girls.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't it?
That is cute. Yeah.
So, how was that for your first case? What do you think?
I'm still mad.
Okay.
Kill these motherfuckers.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, because like I said, if you already had this charge and they said you had the death penalty, years later they just be like, oh well, it got turned over, so you're safe.
Yeah. Also, like, did you hear that, like, they are running low on supplies for the death penalty? Like, the drugs to carry it out, they run low on those supplies. Because I did a case about a guy that decided to die by firing squad.
Okay.
They were low on the drugs to kill him. So he decided to do death by firing squad.
Damn.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So now they're giving, like, people life without parole. But I'm sorry. I think for heinous crimes, light them up.
Yeah.
All the evidence is there. Light them up.
Stone them. I don't give a fuck.
Put the needle on the arm. Let them go.
Shock them.
Listen, and listen. Y'all could come at me later. Y'all could quote me later, but I'm with it. I'm with the death penalty. I understand some people do like an eye for an eye, but at the same time, it's just like I don't care.
But I mean, I guess I do understand. Like people are like, oh, I want them to spend the rest of their life in jail.
Right.
So they have to sit with that guilt and blah blah blah. But
fuck them.
That's what I was gonna say.
But they do say, like, with the death penalty, you do feel like you're drowning. They say your lungs fill up with, like, liquid, and it feels like you're drowning and it burns.
Well, if you set somebody on fire, then you deserve to drown.
I think that's all right, but technically, the government is not supposed to torture you at your end of your days. So technically, it's cruel and unusual punishment what they're doing.
Well, don't you think those kids and the mom and the dad unusual ass fucking torture?
I think so. That was the first case. That was the case that I spent weeks researching.
Last part threw me for a loop. Oh, well, they're gonna die.
Yeah, I know. I will say that you can go and watch a documentary, The Cheshire Murders, on HBO. That's where I watched it. I just gave a little overview, but like everything else is like, it's pretty like deep because they really go deep into their like families. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about these two people's families. Fuck them.
Who got money for HBO?
Okay, I'll give you my login so you can watch it.
Oh shit.
Okay, just to let you know. All right.
That's funny.
Slater, I'll let you know. You were a wonderful first-time guest. I hope to see you again.
Where am I going? Where am I going? What the fuck?
No, I'm saying I hope you come back on Chloroform and Chill. This is great. This has been Chloroform and Chillz. This is my lovely best friend, Slater Badass. Hopefully she becomes our new co-host, but right now she's getting an education.
Edumacation.
Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you later, guys.
See ya.